This is the minimum wage machine, something that everyone's talking about on Reddit. Let's take a look. This is the minimum wage machine, and this machine allows anybody to work for minimum wage. All you have to do is turn the crank on the right side of the machine, and as you turn the crank, pennies drop into the trough below. Let's take a closer look. If the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour in your state, which is the current U.S. federal minimum wage, then a worker is paid 1 penny every 4.9 seconds as long as they keep turning the crank. If they stop turning the crank, they stop receiving the pennies. Now, this is an interesting machine, especially if you tried it out. After a few minutes, it gets really, really boring. And after about an hour, your arm starts to hurt. And this is just 1 hour of simulation of some of the most mindless jobs in the country. This brilliant piece of art, created by Blake Fall Conray, provides a demonstration of just how little $7.25 an hour actually is. Is cranking this handle for 60 minutes, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, really worth all the effort? You're only making about $290 a week before taxes. But yet nearly 2 million Americans know exactly how this feels. And millions more in other nations feel exactly the same way. Some commenters on Reddit had a lot to say about this minimum wage machine. One commented, "All the pennies drop into the collection slot on their own time. They're pre-programmed. They are separate from the crank. So you can turn the crank as fast and as hard as you want, and you're still only getting a penny every 4.9 seconds. You can crank harder and faster and really work up a sweat, but those pennies won't buy as much when you get them today as they could have yesterday." Another joked, "And remember, you're expected to come in on Saturday to crank the machine, but don't expect any pennies to come out during the weekends." You can clearly see that even though you're turning the crank, it's actually releasing 10 pennies, only 1 of which drops down to the slot for you. The other 9 pennies go instantly to upper management. Now, some would say that this is a dire situation we're getting ourselves into. Because when a company's only goal is to maximize profits while minimizing wages, employees will not be able to buy the products they are making. And somebody has to buy them. Millionaires and billionaires can only buy so many pillows for their houses. If normal people can't afford them, then companies will go out of business. Take a look at this chart dating back to 1971. You could see that up until that point, productivity stayed with wages. But ever since then, wages slowed and stopped while productivity continued to skyrocket. Right now, inflation is consuming all of our discretionary income. Automation needs to step into the equation. And as we automate more components of jobs, we still need to put aside money for our employees' wages. That way people will still have money to live and buy the products that they are making. It's time for a change. Higher production with artificial intelligence, robotics, and new tech should mean higher wages for everyone. We all should be working less with the help of tech and yet making more. It's time to move forward into a better business future for all of us, and no one should be left behind. If you've enjoyed this podcast, if you've learned something, please like, subscribe, and share. And as always, we'll see you next time on Shine 365.